Hello, my name is Bilal Ismailov, and I'm student of accounting finance, and I'm going today to introduce with the article from the Govert Snyder, where he states the opinion of the Thomas Barkin, the Richmond Federal Reserve representative, where he stated that the price of goods and services increases, so it's early to have the cuts in interest rate. So before I go through the presentation, I'm going to introduce with the key factors. It's current economy state and the opinion of Thomas Barkin and how sees the economy current state and key data to consider, which would help to make a better decision for the central bank interest rate relevance and its function in our course and inflation control challenges. And as a main point and idea, it's an interest rate. It's an adjustment that plays a crucial role in the monetary policy and stimulating an economy and controlling the inflation. But before any adjustments are made, we need to consider additional financial data to make the decision. And as Thomas Barkin stated, that pre-pandemic numbers show that increase in the quarter of the cost of goods and services increased by 3%, and currently 55% of the economy basket exceeds the inflation thresholds. And by giving the information that the Federal Reserve Bank increased the interest rate by to 5.5%, it stated that it's crucial to make a more accurate approach before any adjustment to control the inflation at the 2%, which is actual target percent for central bank. And before any monetary adjustments are made, it's crucial to consider the important factors that can be impacted and signify the inflation pressures in the future. And I would like to suggest to pay attention to the historical rate and the trends, the reason of rising the interest price, sector-specific data, the idea of breaking down the healthcare, food, and education into the several parts and identify where the inflation pressures comes from significantly. Consumer spending and the saving pattern, I think it's important to consider the relationship between the interest rate and the consumer behavior. Actually, will it have impact on the consumer spending if the interest rate cuts and consequences of monetary policy beyond the interest rate adjustments? I think it's also crucial to consider the tools that can control the inflation pressure and cool down the situation. I think that quantitative easing and forward guidance and the regulation of the reserves needs to be considered as an additional tool in terms of controlling the inflation and interest rate relevance and how interest rate relevant can be relevant to our course and the future students of accounting finance. First of all, interest rate can stimulate economy by decreasing the interest rate. We can make the cost of borrowing much more cheaper and encourage the investment in the spending. And also we can increase the interest rate to stop and control the inflation and cool down the economic pressure in the future. Purpose of the interest rate is control inflation and market supply and providing the economy growth and the control for the future perspectives. And the understanding of the working the interest rate, it can give us a clear picture and help us to build a relevant career. For example, if the future student would know and understand the interest rate behavior, he would suggest the client in the finance sector the best offer to have the better choice of portfolio and would help the better decision making in terms of portfolio diversification. And based on the understanding of interest rate, the person could suggest the relevant securities based on the stock market behavior and economy situation. And based on the article in Thomas Barkin Insights, it is understandable that he emphasized the need for cautious approach to interest rate adjustment and data-driven policy adjustment, which includes additional data consideration and strategy illustrate that federal commitment needs to be balancing economic growth with the dual mandate, which directly impacts on the number of employments and the control of monetary policy. And in conclusion, we can state that based on the comments of Thomas Barkin, the Richmond Federal Reserve representative, that he gave us the additional concern regarding the interest rate cuts and also we could see the importance of the understanding the interest rate and how it can be relevant to our course, and this understanding would help us to build the future career and suggest and predict the economic outcome in the future and have better decision making on the diversification of a finance portfolio. And data-driven decision making, the focus on the data-driven policy adjustments, which including the consider other key relevant information and tools that could help us to control the inflation pressure in the future. Thank you for attention.